Hi guys and welcome to the Wobbly Geek episode 3 Peaky Blinders review. First things first, the reason why you're seeing my top so nicely displayed here is that we have some new merch that will be going on sale. I'm talking to a manufacturer this month around getting some merch for you guys like this. I wear a lot of hoodies and love the way they feel. This is a gorgeous, comfy, really cozy hoodie, and it's perfect for what I use. You'll see me in all sorts of different hoodies where I do these videos, just because I personally like wearing hoodies a lot, and obviously I wanted to get something for you guys as potential merch and stuff to buy. So we've got a supplier, and hopefully I'll be able to get links for in the description for next week, and we can look at getting you guys all kitted out as the Wobbly Army. If any of you guys are interested, obviously, please let me know, and I'll try and put some early orders in while I'm getting everything set up for the regular. But here, for now, here's a look at the first Wobbly Geek bit of merchandise. Hope you guys like it. Right, on to the review. Oh, there is a rant coming. Oh my dear God, why? Why, oh why, oh why, oh why? We're back right where we started. I'm going to go over the same stuff I was talking about in episode 1. This is why pacing matters. Storytelling matters. If you lose your pacing, lose your focus, you're gonna lose the audience. Because if you have episodes where nothing happens apart from at the very, very end, people are gonna feel like they've just lost an hour. And I've said this in other videos, they don't have the time. This slow, methodical pacing, then an action episode afterwards, and then straight back to the slow, methodical pacing. It's killing it. It's absolutely killing the experience. Peaky Blinders is not the first show on the planet to lose its ending and not know how to stick the landing. For every Breaking Bad, for every Mad Men, there is a Game of Thrones, a Sopranos. There's so much that can go wrong when you're looking to end a show, especially when it's been hyped to the moon like this has. You've got to be so careful and so well thought out in terms of how you're going to tell your story in that final season, because you are wrapping up so much stuff, and it's not easy. Hey, we've even got the channel mascot here today as well. Say hi, Jet. If you're going to meow at everything. Pacing. It's so inconsistent with this thing, and it's driving me mad. Absolutely mad. Come here. Say hello. Say hello. It's driving me nuts. What was this week? Hill Simulator. Just Tommy driving around and walking and riding around hills, looking mean and moody. And they're trying to pay off stuff from early seasons, sort of season 2, season 3. And I get it, it's nice fan service to try and do that, but if you're just filling time like they did with this Cursed Sapphire that Grace wore in season 3, I think it was, the night she was killed. I get it, it's a massive plot point, it's a massive part of Tommy's life, and obviously it's affected, spoiler alert, the death of Ruby's daughter. But it didn't go anywhere. And it showed some of Stephen Knight's worst tendencies in terms of this sort of meandering, almost unfocused form of storytelling, where his characters don't seem to say very much, and it seems to be for us, the audience, to figure out the intentions of the writer. That's not how you're supposed to write. It is about showing and not telling, but you're supposed to also tell through words, not just these stylish shots of misty moors and really hyperbolic black backgrounds that have loads of intricate details, but don't actually help you move your story forward. And I've said this since episode 1 of this season. There's a hell of a lot of style over substance. And what they've done with Arthur, I mean, dear God, it's awful. If I was Paul Anderson, I would not sign up for a movie. Don't do it, Paul. They are killing this character. In fact, that's probably how they're going to do it. They're probably going to kill Arthur, and it's just going to be, Ada and Tommy on their own having this little adventure in this movie that they're supposedly doing. 'Cause other than that, what happened? You had the return of Esme, who, again, they're doing some really nice callbacks to Polly, and I completely get why they're doing it. There's a reason behind it. But it's not pushing the story. Nothing happened in that episode that made me go, right, this is where we're going. They developed the sort of breakdown of Tommy's relationship with Lizzie. I think that's just going to descend into chaos now that Ruby's died. But they've been going over it for weeks, and it's just a slow death, and it's not really getting anywhere. And it's not really important. It's not like Lizzie's ever been a major character. And I apologise, but the actress who plays her has never had a great presence in this thing. She's a supporting cast member, and she's never drawn my attention. I've never looked at her and gone, right, this is a well-rounded, well-defined character of her own. She's just a supporting player who occasionally has conversations with Tommy to make little discoveries about his own character and his own character flaws throughout. I get they've done it for a traditional thing, especially 1920s, 30s, men remarried because children needed mothers. But as a character, she's not a partner, she's not an equal, and it so achingly shows. There's just not that strength, there's not that screen presence to make Lizzie as a character work, and it's showing the lack of the show knowing where to find its own feet. It's so unsure of itself in terms of character development and general, even things that we knew before about characters. I'm really going to go into Arthur later, but all the supporting cast really aren't being, and it's not their fault, a lot of the actors. Sophie Rundle, who plays Ada, is trying her hardest. Dear God, she's trying to do her best Helen McClory impression, but it doesn't have the same gravitas. But she's not defined enough as a character to make her relatable and standoutish enough to really grab your attention. Kieran Murphy's acting his socks off, and so is Anya Taylor-Joy. as Michael's girlfriend. She's in the show for like 5 minutes, and I'm more interested in watching her in those 5 minutes than anybody else on this show. And it's so bad. So bad. The main antagonists aren't really grabbing me. No one's really had the presence and the dialogue and the clear character motivation for me to go, yeah, this is exactly what they wanted to do. I can see these powerful forces that Tommy's going to have to deal with, and there's nothing there. They've brought in Stephen Graham in this week with, 4 weeks to go? Why? If you're going to bring in someone like that, bring him in on week 1. Let him build a character. I mean, it's a little late to be doing that on your final season anyway. But if you're gonna have sort of villain of the week and all this sort of stuff, or villain of the season, at least give them a chance to breathe and develop a character. You don't do it midway through a season and it's somehow going to work into Arthur's addiction story, which is a bit of a non-starter anyway, because Paul Anderson's had nothing to do other than slur his words and get physically carried from pillar to post. It's so bad. So bad. And, I'm hating being horrible about this, because I love this show. But they cannot finish it like this. And if this is the way they're going to tell the story, they should have stopped at series 5. Because this is the dampest of squibs if it carries on at its current pace. I don't have any connection to sort of this Uncle Jack character. The Americans not connecting with me as a threat. I don't find him intimidating. I don't find him threatening. And Peaky Blinders has been really good at that, about establishing threatening characters that they are, a big part of the story. And, there's backstory, there's relationships. It's all, and, it's normally done by very intimidating, well-established actors like Sam Neill's, Adrian Brody's, Paddy Constantine's. But who are these people? Who are these actors who have taken up these sort of antagonistic roles this series? Because apart from Mosley, I'm not threatened by any of them. As I said, Anya Taylor-Joy, I enjoy watching because she's camping it up as best she can, and really trying to go into this femme fatale thing, and it works. Every time she's on screen, I'm looking at her character. I'm looking for the reactions of the characters around her, because she's captivating to look at. And they've done that with nobody else. And it's driving me mad. Absolutely potty. I mean, look, it's basic writing principles. All of this is basic writing principles. Know how to pace. You start somewhere, you can start slowly, you build, and you bring your pace up to a final end and a final crescendo. The way it's currently constructed, we've had a slow setup episode, which is, I didn't enjoy the first episode, but it's fine, you understand it. They've got to establish threat, they've got to establish the world around it, especially with the time jump and the other constraints that they had around them. They've got to do all that in the first episode. Then it picked up. I saw these characters coming back, like your Tom Hardys, the Oswald Mosleys, the IRA characters. And I thought, right, they're building to something now. They're building this world up to an actual threat that's going to be credible for the characters and the way the story's eventually going to finish. and then it's gone backwards. I get it. The death of Rube is a massive starting point. It's a for any parent to lose a child, it's a massive thing. But even that was just like, it was used as you were too late, like a girl running for a train and tripping up. It wasn't given any actual levity or response. It was just, oh, Tommy, you were walking in the mountains for all this episode, speaking to a character that we've not seen for 2 years and didn't actually say very much apart from a cursed sapphire. What? If you're going to give it emotional impact, let's see Tommy's reaction for 10, 15 minutes. Really let Kieran Murphy grieve and see that process as he sees the fact that what he's tried, he's failing. That should have been done 15 minutes before to give them something to do and to actually look at Lizzie and Tommy's relationship. But again, they spent it in the fucking mountains. Honest to God. It's like, we're going to go to the moors for 20 minutes and we're going to put loads of cloud everywhere and it's going to look all spooky because gypsy magic. And it's style again. Oh, we want it to look spooky. We want these oldie-timey gypsy crosses so it looks really creepy and gothic. And I get it. Television's a visual medium. You need good visual prompts. But if you haven't got the actual story and the pacing right, it's gonna fall flat on its arse. And this is exactly what this episode did. Fell flat on its fucking arse. And I don't hold out much hope for the rest of this writing because they just don't look like they know how to stick the landing at all. And it's a killer. An absolute fucking killer. And I genuinely feel sorry for the quality actors that are in this. Tom Hardy should have had a massive role here. Paul Anderson, Christ, if I was him, I'd be screaming from the rooftops. You had this powerful, strong, intimidating but vulnerable character, and all they've done is chip him down to be a fucking caricature of some 1910s, 1920s heroin addict from a flaming Sherlock Holmes novel, and it sucks. I know they're going to go for this whole redemption of an addict thing with him, but did you really have to do it? Really? Couldn't you have Arthur being the strong backup to Tommy and have them back and forth as, let's all remember, Arthur's the older brother, Tommy's the younger, but he's the leader. Couldn't we have had some conflict there with Arthur trying to wrestle control after Polly went? Couldn't we have had some interpersonal stuff and built, Arthur's family's left him. We could have done loads with that, with him being coherent and sober and him reverting back to his old fighting ways like he did in season 1 and 2. And you've completely messed it up. It drives me mad. Honest to God. There are so many better ideas you could have done, building on previous character traits that you've already established in your own show. For God's sake. So many open goals for random gypsy magic and spiritualism bits that don't really work without Polly as a character. I know they're going to try and use Esme to sort of fill in for it, but it doesn't work. Because again, the writing's not there, the character's not been there for 2 years, there's not enough backstory and relationship to make it work. I'm so annoyed this week. I'm so absolutely pissed off because it's not it's not coherent, it's not stable. And they're not even using their own backstory and lore to build these characters and to justify their decisions. And it's just basic writing principles, for God's sake. This is worse than anything Taboo ever did. So I apologise for mocking that the week before, because at this rate, it's looking like a shining example compared to the dross we've had to deal with sort of this week and the first week. And you're gonna say, look, I'm doing this for rage clicks and just kicking it because it's easy, and it's not. I don't want to kick this show. I want it to be brilliant. I want it to be fantastic. I want it to stick the landing. But I have a feeling this writer's just not capable of it. And if he thinks he can tell a story in 2.5 hours in a full feature film, he's having a laugh. Because he doesn't know how to. There are so many scenes that could have been cut from 20 to 5. And if you've only got 2.5 hours, and I'm being generous, to tell a story, you've got to be able to cut out all that crap and tell a consistent, action-based, story-driven piece to make this work. And then you're going to ask people to actually pay money to go to a cinema to see it. They need far more script editing. They need a lot more control. The budget's there. It looks gorgeous. It absolutely looks phenomenal. I can't say anything about how it looks. I mean, it's unrealistic, but in terms of style, in terms of swagger, in terms of how the visuals make it appeasing to the eye and the music makes it appealing to draw your audience in, they've got that down. But if your story's as weak as this, God knows how they turn it into a movie. I mean, what haven't I really gone into this week? Ada. I'm gonna give some praise for the actress who plays Ada. She's trying her best, and to be fair, there were times when I was quite interested in her back and forth with Oswald Mosley's wife, and that was a little bit of clever writing. But I want more of that. I want more of the supporting cast to be interesting, compelling for me to watch. And I don't see it, but God, I hope it's there. Otherwise, we're just going to get the Tommy show, and as fantastic as Kieran Murphy is, and he is, just the whole package of him as an actor in this role works. You can't base a television series like this on one actor alone. Yes, they can anchor it, and yes, they can be the main focus, but it's got to be better. It's got to be. You're only as good as your supporting cast in that way, and your antagonist, and none of it's worked this series. I mean, who do we get into even give a challenge? I'd say Tom Hardy. There needed to be more Alfie Solomons in this. They just did. You needed a stronger actor playing any of these antagonists. I would have probably shifted Stephen Graham from the role he's in into the guy that's playing Uncle Jack. I mean, Stephen Graham's actually done American accents before for HBO shows and what have you. So it's not that he can't do it, and he's a far more compelling actor. There are so many issues with this in terms of casting, and saying that casting's not fair. It's bad writing. It's bad writing that's killing this. And there's just other stuff to create annoyance. I mean, what do you guys think? Am I the only one who's really frustrated with this? Because I don't think I am. From what I keep seeing on Twitter and stuff, loads of people are frustrated with the general direction of this show. And the people who are liking it are just the people who are Kieran Murphy fans. Which I get it, that's fine to be one, but if you're wanting to talk about the story and the series and sticking the landing and making it compelling for your audience, this ain't it, guys. This just ain't it. I mean, please come into the comments. I want to start a conversation with you guys, be it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the places where we are. I want your guys' feedback so I can sort of feed it into the reviews and sort of answering subscriber questions and having different points of view and sort of looking into those rather than me sort of just telling you what I think. But I don't think I'm wrong here. This is dicey. I mean, how many episodes have we got left? 4, possibly, maybe more. They've got more. We might be okay. I might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but I know they don't do long seasons on the BBC, so we haven't got long. So it needs to get somewhere fast and build something up. Build me a threat. Build me a support. Give me something to watch other than Kieran Murphy. Because if you're going to bring in people like Stephen Graham, use him, you've paid for it. And I doubt he comes cheap these days with the amount of success he's had. Give Paul Anderson something to do. Such a fantastic actor. Being wasted on this drivel about addictions and an important story to tell, but it's been sloppily told and it's being treated as a joke and an afterthought, and that's disrespectful in its own right. And as an actor, I would be absolutely horrified if I was him. So I just want better, and I don't think I'm going to get it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up for this week. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to build a real community here, not only on these Peaky Blinders reviews, but on stuff as it comes out, and probably a bit more sort of Doctor Who, Star Wars, Marvel, DC. I want to do a review on No Way Home, since that's just recently come on Sky Store, so probably look out for that. But yeah, let's see where this goes, and we'll have some more fun to come. And when my office is finally fixed, we'll start playing video games and getting reviews on those too, and we can play along and laugh at me being generally rubbish. But anyway, guys, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Wobbly Geek out.